Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Okay guys, got two videos here that I want to share with you that have been done with Greg Bell, who is the Chief Business Officer at the Hedera Foundation. And yeah, this is some interesting stuff here that he's talking about, so I thought I'd share this with you. So I'm just going to give you some key points from this and then just share my thoughts. So the first thing that we've got here, it says, instant finality is a difference between capturing arbitrage and missing it entirely. Hedera enables complex DeFi trading strategies for institutions and retail alike. Okay, so when he was talking about this, arbitrage, what is arbitrage? So arbitrage is basically when you've got like different exchanges. If you can imagine, you've got all these different exchanges and they've got, you know, a lot of volume going on these platforms. And basically the prices are not always going to be exactly the same from one exchange to the next, right? So when you look at Hedera on, you know, one platform, let's just give a hypothetical here. It could be, let's just say 20 cents on one exchange and it could be like 19 cents on another. So they'll be similar, but there is little differences here. And what traders can do is they can actually like take the money from one platform. So let's just say, you know, they buy it from the exchange of the 19-cent platform, and then they transfer it over to the other platform, the other exchange that's got it at 20 cents and sell. And they basically make profit off the difference. And this is a known thing. It's a known strategy that people do. And so when they're talking about instant finality, this is what they're saying this opens the door for a lot of traders, right? Which is, as you can imagine, if you're thinking about, okay, you want to try and participate in arbitrage, you need that instant finality really, because it's going to give you that upper hand, right? Like it's not a thing where you can see the price discrepancy between the two exchanges, but then you've got to wait for, you know, everything to go through. You got to wait, and by that time things could change, right? They could catch up to each other. You could just miss out completely. And so for this to be an effective strategy, instant finality is definitely something that would be a huge benefit to these traders. So when you think about that straight away, that's a huge thing from a trader perspective that they would want, right? Institutions as well. This is going to be something that they want in terms of avoiding like counterparty risk and that kind of thing. You know, like they don't have to worry about the counterparty risk side of things because it's instantly settled, right? So there's no kind of waiting period or anything like that. They don't have to keep enabling this trust element of things because it will be done instantly. So it's all finalized and done straight away. So that just rules that out completely. And then even just the normal retail, taking out traders because they are retail as well. But, you know, if you are someone who, let's just say, you know, sold your shares in something or sold your crypto, you want to have instant access to it, right? You don't really want to have to wait 2 or 3 days for, you know, all the paperwork to be cleared and for the certificate to be drawn up that this sale has gone through, etc. And then your funds are available. You want to be able to do it straight away, because what if you want to take that money that you've just made from the sale of this crypto or stock or whatever, and then you want to put it into a different crypto or something or a different stock, right? So you might want to redeploy the money in other places. So yeah, this is a huge thing. This is definitely something where instant finality, it's a massive thing. And, you know, we're getting into a day and age now where if you think about everything, it's like here and now. You know, if you think about the internet, the speed keeps going up and up and up, and it just keeps going faster and faster and faster. And this is where we are. This is just how things are now, because this is what we've been kind of spoiled with now. We've got these options where, you know, your broadband can go faster, everything's moving quicker. So that's how people expect things now. So this is the kind of thing that crypto technology can bring from a DeFi standpoint. And this is why I think from a DeFi perspective, yeah, Hedera can definitely provide a solution in regards to this with DeFi strategies. So this is something where I do think Hedera has a chance to be really big in DeFi. In the previous bull run, DeFi was like the main theme of the last bull run, and Ethereum, I'm not going to lie, they really thrived in it. But again, like this was before Hedera had really like picked up steam. I don't even think it had really been created long around that time. So, you know, there wasn't that opportunity there. So now there's like these other platforms that can compete over a long time, because I don't think this is going to happen overnight. I don't think it's going to happen this cycle, but Hedera can come and chase, you know, Ethereum and try and compete, because in terms of the chain, Hedera to me is hands down the better network. Like that's not even up for debate in my opinion. But it's just obviously Ethereum has that first mover advantage, so that can obviously play a big part. So Ethereum's already kind of solidified its place because there was no real competition around at that time. So, they've already got that big chunk of the market. But yeah, over time, over a long span of time, I think it's a thing where networks and institutions and, retail, they're going to want to go for the cheaper and better option, which Hedera clearly is. So that's when I think, over a span of years, etc., we can start to see what network really does come out on top. And I think Hedera has a very good chance of succeeding in that regard. Okay, so the second thing we've got here is an interview again with Greg Bell and Wendy O. And in this one, he's talking about how things are going with, NFTs, tokenization, just blockchain as a whole. And this was another good watch. So very short interview, but it's still good to see. So in regards to tokenization, he is saying that, they're getting a lot of interest. Hedera is really starting to come through in that regard. I've covered a lot of topics in regards to, companies coming to Hedera to develop, even, migrating from Ethereum to tokenize, etc. and stuff like that. So, I'm very aware of this, but yeah, that is basically just confirming that. So yeah, they are getting a lot of interest at this point. And, one of the things that he was saying was in regards to the ETFs. And he's saying he does believe that the ETFs will get approved this year. Now, this is obviously me talking a bit, benefit of hindsight here, because we've seen that there's now been this fast track process that's been put through by the SEC, with HBAR being a part of this, so that the ETFs can get basically approved a lot quicker. It was obvious. Like, this is the thing. Like, I said this before, like, at the end of the day, we've seen what the SEC have been doing in terms of like crypto, how much they've been helping the crypto industry now that you've got a pro crypto party in place. It was inevitable that they was going to allow these ETFs to get approved. Like that to me was just a no-brainer, because you're not going to be so positive about crypto but then say, oh no, we're not going to allow the ETFs. That was silly. So, I know some of the ETFs was getting delayed and all that kind of stuff. And again, I said at the time, I think it's just them trying to get their ducks in a row, trying to get a framework that they can apply to all cryptos. So it's easier than just kind of doing it one by one, making it more difficult, having to tailor it. They're just trying to get this legal framework out. So this is what they all have to abide by to get the approval. And then that's it, right? It's just out there. And then the rules of the roads are clear. So at the end of the day, these ETFs being streamlined, the ones that have been fast tracked, to me, first and foremost, that indicates a big thing to me. And that's that these are the cryptos that America, in terms of the government, have got their eyes on, and the ones that they can clearly see a big demand for, and I think that's why they've rushed to get those through, because they can see, yeah, these ones are very popular. We're going to get a lot of requests for these ones. So let's get them through the door. And I think that these are the ones that they're also thinking about utilizing themselves. So I think that these are cryptos that they also genuinely believe in, right? And that makes sense with Hedera, because Hedera is a great network. It has a great, has a great team behind it, great technology. So at the end of the day, is that surprising to think that that's what's going on? Not at all to me. So yeah, I really thought that was a good point. And, I've said it before, like these ETFs, I do think they can help with the price, right? Like we've seen it with Bitcoin. When the Bitcoin ETF got approved, it helped get Bitcoin to a new all-time high. Now, granted, it was a very, short run all-time high, only like kind of poked above it by, a few percentage. But at the end of the day, it still created that. And when you're talking about altcoins, it's a lot easier for them to shift the value up more, because there's way less money in the altcoins. So what it could do for some of these altcoins, and plus the fact that we're actually in a bull run. So if we've got all these ETFs just coming through the door now, yeah, we could be in for a really good time, especially with, HBAR being one of them. So I think that's a really good, positive, strong indicator here that, in terms of the bull run, we've got some things to look forward to. And that should be stuff that could be the catalyst that could really drive the price up. We've had the rate cuts announced, which was great. That was one of the things that we was hoping for. Now, the thing that I think we're looking for is these ETFs to get put through. That's a whole new wave of adoption that can be coming through, access for people, the average everyday person who doesn't understand crypto, but they still may want to invest. That's opening the doors for them. And once the euphoria comes in, that's when you get the general retail coming in as well. The ones who, they want to understand crypto, or they want to just quickly come in and try and make some money. They will be the ones that come next from there. And that's when you're in euphoria. That's when you're in the bull run. And that's when you're getting just exponential gains on any random crypto. That's just how it goes. So I thought that was good. The next thing that Wendy said, and I'll just quickly cover this to close, she mentioned about Hedera focus on enterprises, but, how they're feeling about retail. And I thought that was good. I like that Wendy asked that, because it's definitely a fair point. And one of the things that I covered a little while back was how people felt in the community that there was kind of turning their back on retail. And, I forgot the guy's name. I'm really sorry. I want to say it's not Paul Atkins, because that's the SEC guy. Is it Charles Atkins, if I'm thinking rightly? I think it's Charles Atkins, but it's definitely Charles. And he did a note to the community, and he was really honest and said, look, like, I get after the whole Shane Higdon thing and you finding out about the HBAR foundation and how the spending is and stuff, people are unhappy. We get it, and we want to build trust back up within the community, and like we're going to do things like XYZ to try and build that back up. And so I think that's a valid thing, because that was something that did harm the community. It was something that really did have a big impact. And like he was saying how, although they do specific work for enterprises, a retail is a big part of the community. They're a big part of what brings Hedera value as well. So they do want to try and obviously bring their focus to the retail too. And so this was good to hear. There wasn't much in terms of like what there was anything like being laid out to actually bring the focus to the community. I'm going to just take that as, he wasn't specifically asked that. So fair enough. But I hope that's more than just kind of lip service. I hope that is something that he really is like proactively trying to do, to try and build up, the community back up and whatnot, and build that trust back up, because I do think that's important. I really do think that's a big thing. So I'm not about to, I'm not about to knock him at the fact that he didn't give a direct response in regards to what he's doing, because that wasn't the question. But I will just say that I hope that there are things going on, and they are proactively trying to get that looked into and try and build that trust back up and get that dealt with. But yeah, overall, two things here, two videos here that I've got Greg in, and they're both good. They're both really interesting, really short videos as well. So, the first video, was on the Hedera Foundation's, X profile, and also Hedera's official X profile. And you've got this Wendy O interview. The full interview is on Wendy O's YouTube channel, which is Crypto Wendy O. So you can feel free to check both of those out if you wish to. Really short, so not a long to them or anything like that. So could be worth the watch. I mean, I've covered the main highlights here, but if you do want to check them out, then feel free. But yeah, great to hear from Greg, and great to see an update on how Hedera is going. Thank you very much for watching this. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that bell. Take care.